Hey Metal Maniacs, this is Jan from Prestige, and you are dressing it up on Dave Softee's Metal Meltdown on a Metal Messiah Radio.
Alrighty, here we go, Metal Maniacs. Please help me welcome to Metal Messiah Radio, hailing from Finland, here to let us know that the band is still alive from Finnish thrash metal institution Prestige, here to talk about the band's brand new single, Exit. Joining us, we have Jan Örkki Yrlund on guitars.
Hello there.
Jan, welcome to the Metal Meltdown. Thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. It's really a pleasure. I haven't done any interviews to USA ever, I guess.
Really? Well,
So
I'm
thank
glad to
you.
be the first. This happens sometimes, and it's an honor to have you with us. I think we have a lot to catch up on and good news as well. Before we start that, obviously, we're living in a different world right now. It's not the normal situation. So I want to know, how have you been out there during this
Uh,
COVID?
yeah, we've been lucky, and the government was kind of on time to make all these restrictions and stuff like that. So at this moment, we don't have so many cases as the rest of Europe. So I guess we are like in one of the best countries when it comes to that. But of course, we are not completely safe. So the situation can change, and we've had some deaths and so on. But we don't have a lockdown or anything like that. You know, the shops are open as usual. Only in the public transport and stuff like that, you need to wear a mask, and you have the sanitizer everywhere, of course. One thing which has been kind of unfortunate is that all the concerts have been cancelled. It's the same all over Europe and all over the world, I guess. Yeah, so that kind of sucks. We lost quite a few shows ourselves, and I lost my festival, and so that kind of really sucks. But in a way, it's understandable. Only I'm not really sure if the concerts are really the main problem here. As long as you can have the normal supermarkets and groceries open, you have as many people there than at the concerts, basically. So I don't know. But this is the policy, and we have to live with
Yeah,
it.
let's hope that this will change soon because now they're talking about more and more vaccines. There's at least 2 or 3 companies making these vaccines that they're starting to distribute, especially in the UK and now in the USA. So let's hope that this does well and it kills this coronavirus.
Yeah.
But that being said, I think in the summer of 2021, these festivals are planning to go on. So hopefully by then you'll be able to do shows. If not sooner, let's hope.
Yeah, let's hope. We have our own festival over here, and our date is now postponed to August. So we are kind of hoping and that we are completely safe by then, and it should be. It's like half a year from now. But I already see some tours being cancelled to the next year. So I don't know. I have sometimes a little bit of feeling that we are not really told everything. That maybe maybe it is worse than we all think. I don't know.
Time will
I don't
tell.
know.
Hopefully, we'll see some changes in this, and there won't be the cancellations. But people have to be safe. They don't want to have these concerts and then
For
get
sure.
sick and die. It's not worth it.
Yeah, but funny enough, nobody has gotten any COVID over here from the
That's good
concerts.
news. Yeah, that's
Uh,
good.
the, yeah, the cases are basically most of them are either from some of the restaurants or um, from family meetings or even from schools if some kid is sick. But the concerts so far have been safe, and there hasn't been any cases from
That's
the
good news.
concerts. But still, I guess they have to just close everything down. I think that's one
Yeah,
of
that's what
the
they're starting to do in New York City. Actually, the restaurants you can't dine in, and it's too cold now to dine out. So that's kind of hurting the business. But whatever it has to do, we have to follow the
yeah, sure.
restrictions, and hopefully this will pass by, and we'll have COVID as a memory and learn from this. Before
Yeah,
the next pandemic, anyway.
yeah,
So,
yeah, absolutely,
getting back
absolutely.
to the music, Jan, I know you've been associated with other bands such as Satyrian and Imperia, both bands from Netherlands, and it's been about 18 years or so since Prestige has had new music. I'm interested to know what led to this absence from creating new music till this new single, Exit.
Yeah, right. Well, actually, it's been even more longer than that. We released our last album in '92.
Right.
So in 2007, we did release a compilation album. It was kind of a best of double CD, but it didn't contain any new material. So it was only the best of from
Right.
the old days. So I guess it's already, I think, 28 years since we have had something really, really new. Uh, the reason basically was that when we formed the band in the late 80s in '87, uh, we lived really fast the 5 years. From '87 till '92. In those 4 or 5 years, we released 3 albums. We toured a lot. We did a ton of things, and we were basically just kids. We were just 18 years old, and at that age, when you are just a kid or a late teenager, there are a lot of other things in life also which kind of seem interesting. And when I was in my 20s, I met up a girl and moved over to Holland, and that was kind of kind of end of our band
I
at
see.
that point. We just took a break basically. We played at a really big festival over here in '92. It was a huge festival. We even had a Nirvana as a headliner. You know, it was huge, a huge thing, and that was our last show at the time. And then I moved over to the Netherlands to Amsterdam, and basically lived over there the next 17 years. So that was the reason to have a break with the band. But of course, we never officially broke down or anything. You know, we just the other guys did their stuff and played with other bands, and and we always kept the contact and were friends. So that was not the issue. So when I moved back to Finland, things started to roll again because I had to find something to do, of course, and what's the better thing to do than play with your friends?
Exactly. And I have checked out the new single, Exit. I must tell you, when I first heard it, the very beginning of the song, it reminded me of like early Fate's Warning. And then after a little bit of that melodic intro, it really started to pick up the thrash sound. It was really awesome. A really mighty thrash sound. But that's my first take. When I first heard it, I says, wow, that sounds like early Fate's Warning, like Jan Örkki years, if you know what I'm talking about. But that's I felt like the Guardian or something like that. It just reminded me of that. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
That's cool.
It shows the depth of the band, which is very cool.
Yeah, and basically what we decided already when we started to play again, and seriously, we've been having gigs the last 15 years once in a while, played some festivals and stuff. What we decided was that when we start writing new material, we should do what we always did. So we go back to the early 90s, late 80s, and not even try to play any modern, I don't know what's called, modern day thrash bands, but because that's not what we are all about. So we go back to the stuff that we know and where we are good in, to our own opinion. So that's what we want to do.
I find it rather amazing that basically the original lineup is still intact for this new music, all except for the drummer has been replaced. But would you be kind enough to tell all the listeners who is the entire band of Prestige in the year 2020?
Yeah, sure. We have on the vocals, we have Aku. He's been my friend since, we were like 17 years old or something. And Ari, the other guitar player, he used to be at the same high school as I was. So that was actually how we met. And Ari's older brother, Tero, was actually the original drummer in the band. He's like 2-3 years older than we are. And that's also the reason why now last March he finally decided he's kind of done with drumming. Nothing to do with us or the band or anything. It's just in generally he has so much other stuff in his life that he just decided, I'm kind of done with drumming in generally. So that was the reason. And of course, being friends with him over 30 years, then of course we gotta respect that, and we kind of knew it coming already. So that was kind of a decision after that when he decided to leave, and we of course gave him all credit and everything, and had a big party for him. And after that, he said that you guys just go ahead and do what you want. And that's when we started to search for a new drummer, and just happened to be that last December, Matson. Our new drummer left his former band called Korpiklaani, and Korpiklaani being kind of a famous band over here in Europe. Well, I first thought, okay, this guy, can I ask him, because we are a smaller underground band, and maybe he doesn't give a shit, for a small band, But I knew him a couple of years because I've been working with the Korpiklaani for the artworks and stuff. So, okay, I just took a shot and, called him up, what are you doing? And you want to play? And he was really into that. And he already had all our albums and everything. So he knew the music. And that's kind of a God-given gift for us this year that he was into it and he didn't have anything else to do or... So we've been basically rehearsing the whole year through all the old songs from the first albums, and now finally in the end of the summer we started to write new stuff as well. And he's been really awesome and actually giving us a kick in the butt for the rest of us. that's why so much things are now happening, because we have this young guy. Well, he's too younger than we are, so he's
No,
not
no,
that young.
but that's good. You got the new blood, and
But
you are back into
yeah,
the production mode, as they say, which is really good.
absolutely. It inspires the whole band. And then finally we found kind of a mental connection together after all these years. That now we gotta play and do it in our way. Doing the stuff that we know to play. Not even trying to reach things that we can't, but just doing and writing music that we can, and what's our
Yeah.
strength. So that's
Very
kind of
cool. And what also is really cool is that Prestige recently signed with Massacre Records and are working on a new studio album. So that's really great news. And I'm just curious, what led
yeah.
you to sign with Massacre? What did they do to attract you to them?
Well, basically, this was also kind of funny because I did this whole promotion thing kind of old school way as well. So we just made a couple of songs. So we recorded in the studio, made them as nice as possible, and then we just burned them on CDRs and sent them around to labels. And guess how many labels accept CDRs anyway nowadays? Not
Right.
many. And in the end, you had like 20 labels that would accept any unsolicited mails and CDs. One of them was Massacre, and Thomas, our area of Massacre, he actually listened to the CD, and I was kind of surprised. And then I phoned him up because I know him from Imperia as well, and did you listen to it? Yeah, I did listen to it, and it's totally cool. It's exactly what we started with Massacre, because he used to be a singer in a thrash metal band himself, and the whole Massacre record story starts with thrash metal. So for some reason he totally got a kicks out of it, and at the same phone call he just said, I want to sign you guys. I said, all right, that's
Is,
cool. And we got a couple of other offers from other labels, but already then by then we had decided that let's do it with Massacre. I know them, I know what they can do, and it's probably the right label for us.
the gentleman that you're talking about,
You know.
is his name Tom Hack, by the way?
No, Tom Hack is another guy. He's doing the merchandise stuff.
Okay.
He's not
Is
working
that,
with
I
Massacre
see.
anyway, but they are really
Yeah, I used
close.
to deal with
So
Tom Hack.
he's
Yeah, I used to deal
running
with him
the.
for mailings and stuff.
Yeah,
He used
yeah.
to mail me
Yeah.
the what do you call the promos, but then I haven't heard from him, and I'm dealing with Anya now. But when you said Tom, I said, "Is wonder if it's that guy."
Thomas Herteler.
Okay,
He's the our. But Hack is actually I'm working with him for another stuff, because he has this company Value Merchandise. He's doing all this shirts and stuff. So when I'm doing designs, I do them for the bands, and I work with Thomas quite often. With Tom, I mean, for merchandise and stuff like that. He has a good company, good
that's cool.
prices, so it's always a
That's a
pleasure to
good
work
thing.
with him.
That's a good thing.
No
So
problem.
Jan, you already have the music all ready and done. It's all ready to get out there. This new full offering.
We have now like I think 5 songs or
Okay,
something like that. So we'll finish all the other songs, and we have already a release date for the album. It will be in August.
very nice.
So the plan is now, yeah. So the plan is right now to get the other songs ready, of course, and we will release another single in a month or so, which we already have done, and we have a video
Very
for it as
nice.
well. So yeah, just to keep the interest until August,
Right.
and that's the plan. Hopefully, we can the studio in April or something like that to have the to keep the deadline for August. That's the
Excellent.
plan.
Now, what studio your next offering is going to be recorded at, and who will be responsible for the mixing, mastering, and producing of your next album?
Ah, it's a cool studio here close where we live in Tampere. The guy is called Samu Oittinen, and he has the studio called Phantom Studio. And basically, what he's doing is he's kind of famous over here as a metal producer. He's done big bands, like Diablo, Korpiklaani, Apocalyptica, I don't know, big bands, and he's an old friend of us actually. Back in the 80s already, his band used to rehearse in the same bunker where we had our rehearsal room or something like that. It's our ways go back to the 80s, and we give him all the freedom to produce it the way he wants, because he's good in the stuff he's doing. He's Also pretty affordable, so we can spend a lot of time, which is important for us. We don't just want to go there and rush everything in half an hour. So yeah, he's a cool guy. He did these couple of songs as well, and he's gonna be in charge of the whole production.
Yeah, I can definitely understand. You don't want to rush it. People have waited this long. They can wait a little bit longer and have done the way you want it to be done, right?
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, we are still learning. Because in the old days it was totally completely different way of recording. I've been doing albums all the time. I've done a lot of albums through the years. But for example, our other guitar player Ari, he hasn't basically played guitar in 20 years. So for him, it's a completely new environment to be in the studio and learn stuff. He's a really brilliant guy when it comes to that. But still, you gotta start from the scratch. It's completely different kind of way of recording these days. Back then, you had like big analog machines and big tape machines, and you didn't take many takes. You just learned your stuff and you just played it in, and that's it. And nowadays, it's completely different way of doing. But we try to go back to the old days and really go back to the rehearsal room and play these songs together, which is totally cool because the last albums with other bands like Imperia, I've done them in my own studio and being responsible for all the guitars myself and re-recording and I don't know editing and stuff like that. The way you do nowadays albums. But with Prestige, we really want to go back to the old days and play together, really play together. Rehearse together, arrange the songs together with the drums. So that one day that we can hit the stages again, we can really play that
right.
shit,
And yeah, how did it feel for you getting back together with the band and playing the old songs together after all these years? How did it feel to you?
It is kind of a weird in a way, the oldest songs that go back to 33 years or something, and I remember when we made them, we were just kids, but on the other hand, they kind of stood of time, except maybe for some lyrics are probably a little bit childish and stuff like that. But the music wise, we were listening to our heroes, I don't know, from Slayer to Death Angel to bands like that, and you can still hear that in the riffs, that okay, these guys have been listening to like all the bands did back in the day, all the bands we did listen to other bands and just learn to play, and that you can hear today. But because of that kind of music has stood the time in a way, like it's still relevant today.
Yes, it is.
So
and all these new bands that are
yeah,
coming out, the new wave of thrash metal, you could hear all the legendary thrash bands within their music. When you hear it, you say, "Oh, that reminds me of this band or that band from the '80s." It definitely is out there. That's the way it is.
That's the way it is, and that's what we like. Also, that's the kind of music we still listen to ourselves. We know more about the thrash metal from those days than from today. Basically,
right? Yeah. And yeah, I'm curious to know if you could talk about this. Is there a working title for the upcoming album?
Not yet. We haven't been so far yet with that. It's not gonna be any concept album or anything like that. I know for sure, because we never had those. So all the songs will have different topics, and probably in the old days we had some kind of a humoristic approach to some things. Because mainly because I think because of Anthrax and stuff like that, because they had these skateboards and stuff like that. So we did have a couple of songs like that as well, but nowadays we've skipped everything like that because we are older now and not teenage kids anymore. So we are maybe a little bit more serious than back then, but we never were the most angry or aggressive band or anything like that. So you don't have to expect anything like that. It's just cool, good old.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the upcoming album is simply called Prestige, self-titled, because it's a new era of Prestige. So that I wouldn't be surprised about. Also, the artwork. Have you had this done already for the CD, or is that a work in progress?
It's a work in progress. I always work like from sketches to sketches, and it kind of grows on me. I hardly ever do it in a few days. So it's I have ideas and I've been sketching and stuff like that. This one for the single, actually, that was another assignment I had already a couple of months ago or something like that. And it was basically unused. I didn't do it for prestige or anything like that. But when I saw it and read the lyrics that Aku came with, I thought, okay, it's pretty fitting image to that. Like this skeleton escaping the world and exist. Yeah, kind of yeah. How do you say that? Like kind of. Well, basically, the song is about like when you done everything you can, and they still keep on asking in a way that you've been done, and you in a way you've been used as well, but you just escape the whole
I hear
problem,
you. I hear you. I hear you.
that, so that kind of was an image that fit to that concept. So that's why I kept this. But it doesn't mean that the whole album will be this style. It can be totally different as well. We've had a lot of albums with like completely hand-drawn comic style covers. Can be something like that too, because those are coming back as well. So let's see.
We're
What
looking
happens.
forward to the next album and the cover and all that. So we'll be eagerly awaiting to see this. And we were talking earlier about COVID and how it's totally messed up doing live performances, but I'm curious to know if Prestige has made any sort of plans for 2021. I believe, like what we were talking about in the summertime, it looks like it's going to be okay to do some touring. So have anything booked yet? I know you've noticed there are cancellations already for some festivals, but I have noticed some festivals that are announcing that they're going on this summer. So do you have anything lining up that you can talk about?
Oh, yeah, well, we have our own festival on the 14th of August, and over here it's called Speed Metal Party. And I always try to get some foreign name there as a headliner. A couple of years ago, I had Razor from Canada as headliner. And last year I had Artillery from Denmark as a headliner. This year I was supposed to get, of course, the band from New York City, Whiplash.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I already booked them and everything, and but then the COVID came, and actually, one of the guys caught the COVID, and he was really, really sick, and of course, everything got cancelled anyway. So. But I'm still thinking about it. Maybe if they are up to it, to have them at the festival next year.
Let's hope so.
Let's see.
Yeah. I wish you the best with that.
Yeah, they're kind of cool. Yeah, I always like them. They were never like the biggest band or anything like that, but they're totally cool in their own style.
Exactly.
So, and I definitely want to keep it, old school. I don't want to book any modern thrash bands there. It's gonna be like true old, thrash and speed metal.
Excellent. Really
forever.
good. Yeah. Very good. I wish you the best with that. And I need to know. I mean, we're living in this new age of videos, and that's how a lot of bands are able to get their word out because, without going on tour, you're really not making money. So you're not really spreading the word about your new releases. So videos are really a necessity. So does the band plan on making any new music or lyrical videos for your upcoming album?
Yeah, we do actually. For this song, you heard this Exit song. We're gonna release a video actually now on Monday. We have a video premiere for that, and and it's gonna be like also old school stage video. We play on a stage. Well, it's not a real like live stage, obviously, because you can't have concerts. So it's a venue that we could get with cool lights and everything like that, and it's completely like stage video like they used to be. And so you see a bunch of old guys banging their head and playing thrash metal, but it's gonna be cool. And then for the next single, we do have a lyric video actually, but that is also made in a kind of a 80s style. We made it on purpose, kind of with cheap video effects and stuff like that. What you saw on MTV in the 80s.
That's a great idea. Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, we definitely are aware that we need to do these things. Back in the day, we didn't do much videos. We only had, I think, one official video back then. But these are the times nowadays, and with all this social media stuff and so on, you gotta do this, and it's kind of a cool in a way as well. People can listen to it easily and see it, So I don't mind that. It just takes a lot of time from the creative stuff, like writing the music and recording the music. The videos are a kind of a side thing for me always. But lot of bands do the videos first, I guess. That's
I
the
guess
main
to
thing.
get the word out
You
there.
know.
Promotion. It's all about promotion.
It is, it is, it is. And of course, we are aware that, back in our home country, we are kind of a known band and, people remember us. But outside of our home country, we are basically starting from scratch. So we need to have all this stuff. And that's a reason to sign with the Massacre as well. We are hoping to open the doors in the Central Europe and maybe the rest of the world, that we really can start playing on the foreign festivals. And also with the Matson now, the drummer on board, he knows so many people and he's been around. So it's kind of helps us to get the
And
rest.
this is why we're on the Metal
Mhm.
Meltdown talking about Prestige, because we want to get more recognition for your band around the world, and especially in America as well.
Yeah, great. That's
Yeah.
totally cool, man.
And Jan,
Absolutely.
do you like to talk about your toys, your guitars, what you play? Are you a gearhead?
Mhm.
You like to talk about that stuff?
Yeah, I'm absolutely a gearhead. It's kind of everything got out of the hand already
Oh
30 years
yeah.
ago. Yeah, I like to collect guitars. I have too many of them. I think
30
30 or something.
guitars. Wow,
But
that
yeah,
sounds like fun.
yeah, yeah. But I like them. Back in the days I always played with Charvel guitars and Japanese Charvels, of course, because we couldn't afford the American ones. So American Jacksons, they were bloody expensive over here. So, but the Japanese Charvels were totally cool guitars, and I had one back then, and through the years I've been collecting them, and I have a bunch of them now. And of course, Gibsons I used to have, and I still have, and I also have some custom-made signature guitars from smaller guitar builder called Amphisound. It's a small company, but they build excellent one-off guitars. So, and a lot of Japanese lawsuit Les Pauls and stuff like that. I have a lot of bunch of guitars for sure.
Very nice.
You
Nice.
know.
And I noticed on Skype I see Dark Grove. So would you like to talk about what you do when you're not doing the band? Are you a graphics designer?
Yeah, yeah. That's basically what I do. I have my company called Dakaro, and I've been designing basically all graphic related stuff for bands in the last 15 years, I guess. Album covers most of the time. Sometimes merchandise, stage props, and screen projects, stuff like that. I guess I've done more than 500 album covers
Five
right now. A
five
lot of
hundred album
massive,
covers? Wow,
yeah,
that's
something like
impressive.
that. Yeah, a lot of stuff for Massacre Records, by the way. A lot of their album
Oh
covers as
wow.
well. And
I never knew that.
yeah,
I never knew
yeah,
that. And so you've been keeping pretty busy out there.
yes, yes. All the time when I'm not playing or something like that, then I do the graphics, and that's basically my company, and that's what brings the bread on the table, let's say. Because music, let's face it, nowadays you hardly can earn anything out of it. You know, especially when you're a smaller band.
Right.
So you gotta do something, and I am always interested in the art, and um, from a professional point of view already. I used to draw when I was a kid and had a comic magazine and studied art and everything. So that kind of comes
That's great. It's
naturally.
great that you can make a
So
living
I
doing
like,
that too. Excellent.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's been pretty good actually the last 15 years, and I can't complain. And I have a lot of interesting clients from all over. What I find the most cool is actually to meet all these bands from all over the world. And basically, I'm only doing, no, well, not only, but let's say mainly doing metal bands or gothic bands or harder music genres. And it's totally cool to meet these people from all over. And yeah, sometimes you come up with people from really weird countries, and still, the metal is the same everywhere, and it's totally cool to help them out for
Excellent.
sure.
I gotta say, Jan, it's been a pleasure to talk with you. We've never talked before, but I really have enjoyed talking with you, and I believe we have a great interview here. But I want to make sure that we caught all the Prestige fans, new and old. I want to make sure that we caught everyone up to speed. That being said, like I said, I think we have a really great interview here, but I want to make sure we covered all the bases. If there's anything else that you'd like to bring up that we have yet to discuss, please talk about anything you'd like to.
Uh, yeah, basically maybe to sum it up, because I know that we are a new band for most of the listeners, and so basically the band started in '87, and we made 3 albums back then. So if you just talk about the fact files, so we made 3 albums, and in 2007 we made a compilation album. We've been playing in the last 15 years in different festivals and stuff like that. So that's kind of a fact file. The band exists already 33 years, but we've had a 15 years break in between. So if somebody wonders, are you a new band or have you done anything? Yeah, we have done quite a lot, but it's quite a long time ago.
Time flies, doesn't it?
It does.
Well, at this time, would you like to say anything out there to your fans that are tuning in right now?
No, it's totally cool. I hope that people really find the single and find the time to listen to it and, follow us and whatever you do nowadays, because we really are, into doing this and doing it proper this time. We do now have an international label. We do have international distribution. So we have all the tools in our hands right now, and we just hope to make the best out of it. And, hopefully the thrash maniacs and speed metal fans will find us.
We'll make that happen. And, I'm looking into the future that possibly we could come back again for a follow-up interview when the album is already released, and we could talk about, actually, you could do your tours. We could come back maybe even a year from now to talk about your touring and talk about your videos, to talk about the actual release of the new album. It would be great to get with you again about that.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome.
So
absolutely.
We'll keep that window open. And I want to wish you and all in Prestige a great new year. Stay safe out there with this COVID, and let's hope it's all done with. And may you have a new beginning with many more years to come to bring us music, and may you have much success.
Thank you for having me here, and thanks for all the support. We totally appreciate it.
Thanks for a great interview, and let's go crank up some more Prestige now. Let's crank it up loud.